Thanks for watching this video today. Today is going to be a little bit different. I want to show you guys what I do to meal prep for the week. And I call this kind of like a semi-meal prep because I'm not actually making a bunch of different meals and then packaging up and putting in my fridge. I'm just going to prep some things to make the week so much easier. Like I'm going to chop some vegetables up so that I can easily cook them during the week. I'm actually going to cook some rice. So my brown rice that I buy, the short grain, takes sometimes like up to an hour to cook. I don't have time for that during the week. So I'd rather just cook it one day and make a big batch of it and then easily reheat it during the week so I can make things like stir fries, I can put rice into my salads, or just eat a side of rice with one of my meals this week. So that's the kinds of things I'm going to show you today. This saves a lot of time. It takes about an hour and a half to do this on a weekend day or even on a weekday night if you have time on a weekday night. And then it saves you so much time during the week, and it really is a big help, and you will be super happy after you do this. So I'm going to show you what I do, and you don't have to do exactly what I do, but maybe you can get some really good ideas and some tips and tricks that maybe you could use at home. All right, so first things first, I have an Instant Pot. You don't have to have an Instant Pot. If you have a regular pot at home, you can cook your brown rice ahead of time as well. But I'm going to use the Instant Pot today, and I have some short grain brown rice that we're going to go ahead and cook. Okay, so I have 2 cups of brown rice in here, and I added 2 3/4 cups of water. And you could add salt in there, maybe a ½ teaspoon, but I'm just going to leave it unsalted. Go ahead and seal your Instant Pot. And make sure it's sealed. And we're going to do manual for 22 minutes. Okay, so the next thing on my prep list, I am actually gonna make some tofu. So I have some extra firm tofu. Now, I like to go ahead and marinate my tofu and let it sit in the fridge. And then when I want to eat it for dinner, all I have to do is take some of the marinated tofu and throw it in my air fryer for 15 minutes. And then I have really delicious, crispy, marinated, flavorful tofu to go with any of my dinners. So that's what we're gonna do next. We're gonna go ahead and press the tofu for about 30 minutes, get all the water out so it absorbs all that marinade. All right, let's go ahead and do that. So instead of using my tofu press that I usually use, it's only big enough for 1 piece of tofu. I'm gonna use the plate trick instead. So I have all these plates. I'm gonna put the 2 things of tofu on the bottom and then just stack a bunch of plates on top of it and let that sit there for about 30 minutes. All right, that's the plate trick, try it out. Gonna have a glass Tupperware like this. And again, this recipe is in my crispy tofu video, so you can go ahead and find the measurements there. But I'm just gonna eyeball it. So if you make this a few times, you don't have to measure it every time, you can just eyeball it. Okay, so next up, we'll add some maple syrup, just a little drizzle. Okay, I like to use this chili garlic sauce. You can also use sriracha, but this is really good because it has extra garlic flavor in there. Just gonna pour a little bit. Oh yeah. Okay. Yum. This is called sambal, and you can find it in any ethnic aisle of any grocery store. It's really good. Okay, garlic powder. Nice heavy shake. And then we have our good old ground ginger. Shake that in there as well. I'm gonna add a little extra soy sauce. I don't think I have enough for all the tofu I have. Go ahead and mix it up. And then once that tofu is ready to go, we'll put it in the marinade and that'll sit in the fridge all week long. That's done. We'll set this aside. Okay, the next thing I'm gonna make ahead of time is some chickpeas that we're gonna roast, and we're gonna season them really good. So I'm gonna have some seasoned roasted chickpeas. Easy to do, just grab a can of chickpeas, grab a strainer, and a can opener. We're gonna go ahead and strain these chickpeas and add them to a bowl. Okay. we're gonna go ahead and give them a good rinse as well. Okay, once your chickpeas are rinsed, grab a bowl. Go ahead and add them to there, okay? And now I'm just gonna toss a little bit of maple syrup with these, maybe like a tablespoon worth. I don't know why I put all these things away when I'm just gonna use them again. So we'll just go ahead and add a little bit of maple syrup. And a little bit of soy sauce as well. Okay, just a little drizzle, maybe like a teaspoon worth. All right, now we're gonna spice them up a little bit. Okay, my chickpeas. We're gonna add some garlic powder. Okay. Black pepper. A good amount. Smoked paprika. Really good stuff. Maybe like 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon. Okay, there's that. And let's just give them a good mix. Yum. Okay. Now I'm gonna lay them on a little bit parchment lined cookie sheet. Okay. And now I'm gonna actually sprinkle a little bit of more spices on top as well. I'm just gonna do a little bit more garlic powder. A little bit more paprika. Just to make sure that we got enough spices. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead, and preheat the oven to 400. Okay, it's preheating, and then we're gonna put those in. Okay, so we got a few things done already, right? We are cruising. Look at that. So you may have seen already that my counter is being taken over by a bunch of vegetables. I have a lot of stuff going on here. So in order to make more counter space, I'm gonna go ahead and start chopping the vegetables up so that's out of the way so we have more room for everything else. So I have some zucchini that we're gonna use. I have some fresh asparagus. I have some broccoli crowns we're gonna chop. I have a whole head of red cabbage that we're also gonna chop up. All of this washed kale that we're gonna chop up as well. And lastly, for some fruit, we're gonna cut up some strawberries. So all this stuff is gonna be chopped up so that it's easy to access during the week, because when I see a bunch of zucchinis in the fridge, sometimes I don't really get to them and then they go bad. But if I can chop them up all at once, there really is no excuse why you couldn't add that to your dinner or your lunch, because it's so easy, okay? All right, so let's get started on our chopping, and then a lot of this stuff will be off my counter. All right, so let's go. All right, so I don't want these broccoli stems to go to waste, so I'm actually gonna give them to my dogs to eat. Just like they love kale stems, they also love broccoli stems as well. They love to crunch on them. They're so good. Piper. so we just chopped a ton of vegetables, and you might think I'm crazy now because that is a lot of red cabbage, right? This is insane. Look at all that. So we will end up eating it though, because when red cabbage is cooked, it kind of shrinks down. It won't look this big. So we will get it used. You could sprinkle this in any of your salads during the week. Maybe put on top of some tacos is really good, like a nice, really good crunch. But I love to put it in my stir fries. And red cabbage is extremely healthy, so it's really good to get all of it. I like to buy the head of red cabbage instead of buying the bagged, because look how much cabbage we got. This cabbage was about $2.50. It's organic, and it made this much. The bags don't come near this amount, and it's way more expensive. So you saw how fast it was in my food processor. You could also chop it yourself. It doesn't take that long, but that is way more effective and time efficient. All right, also we have our kale, chopped kale that we have for the week. This one we are gonna use for salads, and I'm also gonna steam it and have it for dinner as well. Okay, then we have all of our zucchini and asparagus. This one is really delicious to put on the side of like a veggie burger, just have a side of vegetables. I even put this on the side of my tofu scramble for breakfast. Really good stuff. Woo, more and more. Then we have our strawberries. We'll put this on top of our steel cut oats during the week, or just eat it as a snack. And then our broccoli, I had to put it into 2 containers because there was so much of it. And this, again, we're gonna make with stir fries, most likely. I love to just do veggies and rice. It's one of my favorite things to have during the week. So there we go. When we were prepping all of this stuff, the timer rang for the oven. So our chickpeas are done. So let's go ahead and take them out. All right, roasted chickpeas are done. We're gonna let them cool off, and then I'll put them in a container. Okay, before I get my tofu cut up, the rice that we have here in the Instant Pot is actually done. So it cooked for 22 minutes. And then we actually let it naturally release for 20 minutes. So now I can easily open it. And the rice is perfectly cooked, if I do say so myself. Oh yes. Woo. Let me show you guys. Perfectly cooked rice. Just gonna go ahead and use a fork and kind of fluff it up. Oh wow. Here, let me let you guys see. So our rice, I'm just gonna fluff it up with a fork. Perfectly cooked. Okay, woo, all that steam. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in a container, and then once it's completely cool, I'll close it up and put it in the fridge, and then we'll go ahead and use this week for our stir fries. It's so much easier when the rice is already cooked, especially when you're really hungry and you're really busy and you don't have time to wait for your rice to cook. All right, so let's go ahead. Okay, so I just took the plates off of the tofu, and this is what I have here. Look at all that liquid that you see. So that's the excess liquid that we are gonna go ahead and pour off into the sink. Okay, there we go. A little bit of dents from the plates, but no biggie, we can handle that. All right, so you guys, the reason why we press our tofu is that the tofu is really, really soaked with water, and we want to get all that water out so it actually absorbs the marinade like a sponge. So we want to squeeze everything out of the sponge, and then we want to have it reabsorb all the marinade. That's why we do it, okay? So actually you don't want to skip pressing of the tofu. All right, so I'm actually gonna pat these tofus off with a towel. You could also use like paper towel or things like that, but I'm just gonna use a towel and kind of get a little bit of the moisture off of it. Here, I'm just gonna pat that a little drier, absorb some of the water. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and cut up the tofu and put it in the marinade. All right, so next up from our prep, I know, we have so many things to do. Second to last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna use our Instant Pot one more time to make some steel cut oats. The reason why I make it ahead of time is because steel cut oats take about 25 to 30 minutes to make. And I love the texture of steel cut oats opposed to like a old fashioned oat or a rolled oat. I really like the chewy texture of it. It takes so darn long. So I like to just prep it in the Instant Pot ahead of time. And then I'll scoop it out and then I'll microwave it for breakfast and then add my fruits on top of it. So much easier. So up to you, whatever oatmeal you prefer, but I really enjoy steel cut oats. So we're gonna go ahead and put a cup of steel cut oats in here. There we go. And 3 cups of water. Okay, I'm gonna put it into my Instant Pot, seal it, and set it for 4 minutes. Okay, so that's done. All right, we have one more thing I want to do. So I really have a lot of sweet cravings during the week, and I always go for things that maybe I shouldn't be eating or don't want to be eating. Oh, hello, Piper. So I'm gonna make some chocolate chia pudding to eat during the week because I really, really like it. But in order to enjoy it, you have to make it and let it sit in the fridge for a couple of hours. So when I'm craving it, it's not really ready, and then I don't want to make it and have to wait a couple hours to eat it. So we're gonna go ahead and make it ahead of time, and then we'll have it to enjoy during the week. All right, let's do that. And there is actually a recipe video for it on one of my other videos, so I will add the link in the description so that you know how to make it. So I'm just gonna run through it really quickly though, and yeah, let's do it. All right, prep is done. The only thing that's still cooking are our steel cut oats. They are still in the Instant Pot. The timer has beeped, so now we need to let them sit for 20 minutes so they can naturally release. And then I'll scoop them up and put them in a Tupperware, let them cool off, and put them in the fridge. So I have a lot of dishes to do, so that's what I'm gonna do next. But we got a lot of stuff done. Let's recap, shall we? We made 2 cups worth of brown rice. Here it is. So that's our cooked brown rice we have for the week. Awesome, right? We made our marinated tofu. Here it is. So all I have to do during the week is pop it into the air fryer or the oven and bake it. Easy, right? We have made our roasted chickpeas. Oh, I didn't show you guys how they turned out. Okay, a little roasted chickpeas. There they are. You can eat them as a snack. They're fine. Oh, they're more than fine. They're really good. But I'm gonna use them as a salad topper. They're really good on top of a kale salad or any salad, or just, honestly, they're really good as a snack, just like this. The paprika, the smoked paprika, makes them taste like barbecue sauce or like barbecue chickpeas. So we'll put those back in the oven. Or sorry, put them back in the fridge. All right, next thing we cut up a whole bunch of broccoli, 2 Tupperwares full. We cut up an entire large Tupperware full of zucchini and asparagus. We made a huge bowl of red cabbage chopped up. We have a huge container of kale. So we have a lot of vegetables for the week, so I won't have a short supply of any of those. And then I cut up some strawberries. They'll be good for a few days worth of the oatmeal in the morning, where I'll add a banana and maybe some mango to that as well. And now we have some pudding for dessert. So that's easy and done. So now when I'm craving something sweet, I can just scoop it out and enjoy that for dessert. So prep is done. All right, great job. Now we can cruise through the week and have really easy meals to enjoy. Okay, it's morning time, and I just finished my workout, and I have my cooked steel cut oats that I made. And we're just gonna go ahead and scoop them up. Just a little scoop. It's gonna be kind of like that, very thick. I'm gonna grab a nice little scoop of it and put it into my bowl. With that, I'm gonna add most of the banana in there as well. And I'm gonna give the other piece to my dog, Piper. Piper, here you go, girl. And I'm gonna add a splash of soy milk to that as well. We're forgot that. It's just a splash. Okay. Just like that, and I'm gonna throw it into the microwave. Okay, so now I have everything together. Mash it all up. Okay, so now I have my warm, delicious steel-cut banana oatmeal. I'm gonna top it with some things. A little bit of cinnamon on top. And I'm gonna add about a tablespoon of flaxseed. I'm just gonna eyeball it. Flaxseed in there. This is ground up. I'm gonna put a few of my strawberries that I cut ahead of time. Put them right in there. Oops. Yum. And I have a few blackberries I want to put in there. I'm just gonna rinse a couple of those. They're a little large, so I'm just gonna cut them in half. Throw those right in there as well. And then I have a mango that I cut. I'm just gonna slice that. So we put little marks in there so you see that, little pieces of mango. Just gonna go ahead and scoop it out into my bowl. Then we're gonna add a few walnuts, just a few pieces. And lastly, I'm gonna add a little bit of almond butter because I really like almond butter in my oatmeal. Just add a little drizzle. Okay. So this oatmeal bowl is not that pretty, but it's gonna be delicious. So we have our made ahead of time steel cut oats, our prepped strawberries. I just cut up that mango this morning, blackberries, walnuts, and a little bit of drizzle of almond butter. Oh yeah, and flax and cinnamon. So this is my morning breakfast. And it's pretty easy. Doesn't take much time at all. All right. Okay, so I'm just getting ready to make some dinner for tonight. And I decided that I'm gonna use up the chopped kale that we chopped over the weekend. And I made my kale dressing I'm about to blend. I have all the ingredients in there. I'm gonna attach the video in the description below if you wanna try that kale salad out, it's really good. And then I'm also going to toast my breadcrumbs. I have some whole wheat panko breadcrumbs that are gonna go on top of the salad. And then I'm gonna put my cashew Parmesan cheese that I've made. I make that all the time. I didn't prep it over the weekend, but I did make it like a week or so ago. And I use that on a lot of things, my cashew Parmesan cheese. That's also the recipe for the kale salad. And then I'm gonna top the kale salad off with our roasted chickpeas. So that'll be really, really good. So I'll show you what everything looks like when I'm done. Salad. Sprinkle some cashew parm. Oops, I got some chunks on there. There we go. And then a little bit of toasted breadcrumbs. And then some of my roasted chickpeas that we made ahead of time. So there we go. Yum, yum. And the chickpeas, you can either serve them cold, or you could do what I did. I threw them in the air fryer really quick to heat up and just get kind of warm. And then I put them on top of my salad. So this is my dinner salad. Kale, chickpea salad, yum. This salad is so good with these chickpeas in it. Really, really good. So I was craving something sweet, so I pulled out some of my chocolate pudding. I've already had a little bit this week. I'm just gonna mix it around a little bit and add some to my little bowl over here. Okay. Then on there I'm gonna add just a few walnuts. I just like a little crunch in there. And a little bit of peanut butter as well. So I make this chocolate pudding with a little bit of everything. All right, so my little sweet treat now, I have some pudding with peanut butter and walnuts in it. And that's gonna hopefully help my little sweet tooth. That'll definitely do the trick. My quick stir fry is done. With all the vegetables in here. I have zucchini, asparagus, red cabbage, and broccoli. Might not look the prettiest, but it tastes really good. To this, I added a little bit of soy sauce and a little bit of peanut butter and just mixed it all together so it's like a little peanutty taste. So I have brown rice right there. I'm just gonna go ahead and add lots of vegetables to my plate. I didn't get enough vegetables at lunch today, so I'm gonna make up for it right now. All right, so that's loaded up. Also, I cooked some of the tofu in the air fryer. I'm just gonna throw a little bit of that on there. Nice and crispy. And for a little bit more of a crunch, I'm gonna add some peanuts to the top of it to kind of tie in that peanut butter that I put into the stir-fried veggies. All right, so there you have it. That's a weekday night dinner with some brown rice that we cooked ahead of time, the tofu that was marinated, I just threw it in the air fryer, and all the chopped vegetables I put together and made a delicious stir fry out of it. And let me try real quick. Get a few bites. Hot. Really good.